To me, it makes sense to give them equal respect under the law. And I hope the governor will eventually change his mind on that. He briefly, for I think about 2 hours or so, did change his position to be for civil unions after Senator Portman changed his position on same-sex marriage. And then his spokesperson came out later and said that was a mistake, and he actually did not change his position on that. I think this is going to be one of those issues where years from now, people will look back and say, there was a right side of history to be on and a wrong side of history, and I think I'm on the right side of history.
When you wake up in the morning and see that the polls are showing you substantially double-digit behind, what do you decide to do? What can you do about that? I know you're traveling the state. I know you're having forums because there are no debates being held. What are you doing to try and get yourself up in the polls? And what do you do to get yourself up every morning?
Well, first, I don't usually wake up with the polls. So I usually say good morning to my family. And we get started in the morning. My wife works at a public school district. And I have 4 children, 2 are in college. So the boys are out of the house. Actually, they're coming back. They have a little bit of a fall break, so I'll see them maybe tonight. My girls are still in high school. So that's the way I like to start my day. Whether the polls are good or bad, I do think it's important. This isn't the question you asked, but I'm going to answer it anyway. I do think it's important to have balance in your life, and it's important to know what's important. And you keep focus on what you care about and what motivates you. And the core of my life always has been, I came from a big family with 8 kids, and that's the way I was raised, and that's the way I live. So that's the center of my life. Now, politically, what I've always focused on are issues that I care about. So what I've done from the beginning of the campaign, and when I went into the campaign, I was an underdog, and my chances were written off by a lot of people. And I understood that. I know it's very difficult to run for the first time statewide. I know it's very difficult to run against an incumbent. It's very difficult to run against a political operation that has a lot of money. I understand all those things. It's difficult to run in a state where state politics doesn't, in my opinion, always get the substantive attention that it deserves. Those are all challenges. So why do people run for office when they're underdogs? Hopefully, they're doing it because they care about issues. And the issues that I talked about, education, jobs, poverty, civil rights, those are things that motivate me. The last couple elections I had, people didn't think I was going to win. And we had some polling that was quite bad for us. But I try to run campaigns that engage with people, have a civic conversation with people, and that's what I'll do up until the last minute. And whatever people's judgment is, I'll respect whatever their judgment ultimately is.
What about fundraising? Obviously, you're behind in fundraising. Anything you can do to bring in more funds? That's obviously in this state and every state a key factor in winning an election.
Sure. I mean, you can write a check if you're really concerned, but I would just say...
Very impartial.
After it's over, you don't have to be impartial anymore. Look, I've been outspent in every single race I ever ran. And if we have a system where the only people that get elected are the people that can raise the most money, we will really have lost our democracy at that point. And I'm not saying we're to that point yet, but the trend is not good in this state or in this country. I think the things that have happened at the national level with Citizens United and other court rulings, there's such a willful blindness to the influence of money in politics. And I'm not saying that money hasn't always had influence in politics. Money will always have some influence in politics. But I'm just not willing to concede that we're going to have an electoral system that's all about how much money you can raise. I mean, why not cut out the election entirely then and just go to the richest people in the state and say, congratulations, you now run the state. I mean, I was outspent 4-1 when I ran for mayor, 5 or 6-1 when I ran for county executive. I still was able to win because we had a conversation with people about what really mattered to them. And what we're putting our focus on in our campaign is we're trying to have conversations with people about their lives, what matters to them, and what the future of the state should be. And it would be nice to have lots and lots of extra money. On the other hand, I'm also not beholden to a lot of special interests that have paid and are funding my campaign, and I'm proud of that.